Welcome to the masterclass, The Science of Building a High Trust, Ethical Business with Soul. I'm going to show you how to build a business that feels as good as the work you actually do, so your passion can finally become something that provides for your life, rather than draining it. We are moving away from high pressure selling towards a system built on three things: trust, simplicity, and simples. This video is going to be raw, no editing, just you can read on the screen with me. And if you want to, you can access the document below on the page if you rather just read it instead of me explaining it. So, yeah, focus. It's going to be 20 minutes. And let's get into it. My journey wasn't a straight line. 8 years ago, I started as a mindfulness coach. I had the heart, but I didn't have the business knowledge. I couldn't make it work, and I had to go back to earning an income in ways that didn't align with my passion. Eventually, I became a Wim Hof method instructor. The business flowed better because I was riding the wave of a global brand and using their platform to find clients. But after 2 years, I hit a wall. Even with that support, I wasn't able to build a business successful enough to truly support my life on my own terms. That frustration sparked an obsession. I dove deep into entrepreneurship, marketing, and branding, and after years of learning and helping others build their foundation behind the scenes, I finally decoded the science of the ethical business. I saw exactly how to connect the dots. I learned how to reframe business so the passionate soul finds joy instead of resentment in business. Because I know the feeling, every client I had the same thing. They didn't like business, marketing, or selling. If that resonates with you, if you want to build a business focused on helping people instead of closing them, then you're at the right place. Let's get into it. Most likely, you're a solopreneur. You're a practitioner, facilitator, creator, and the administrator all at once. This fits two of the most powerful concepts in the modern world. First is the one-person business model, and second is personal branding. Before the internet, a business was usually a team of specialists: marketing department to get attention, sales department to close the deals, operations management to keep things organized, and a fulfillment team to deliver the service. When it's just you cannot act like a traditional corporation. You don't have the time or desire to wear 10 different hats. This is exactly why trust, simplicity, and systems are no longer optional, they are foundational. Trust replaces marketing and sales. In a personal brand, your reputation does the heavy lifting. When people trust you, you don't need to sell or pressure them. Simplicity replaces management. By keeping your offer and your message simple, you eliminate the need for a manager to oversee all the complex moving parts. You can manage the whole business alone without burning out. And third, systems. They replace the assistant. The systems are silent employees. They handle bookings, emails, payments, follow-ups. They save you time that an assistant normally would do, allowing you to stay focused on your craft and passion, which is helping people. Trust isn't a feeling, it's a stack. In 2026, we are living in what I call, and many others, a trust recession. Between the rise of AI-generated scams, Chinese e-commerce products, and low-quality get-rich-quick schemes, online trust has never been lower. Before people can trust your soul, they have to trust your system. Let me explain why. Layer 1 is foundational professionalism. The first layer of trust happens unconsciously. In a world where major apps follow the same structure and every corporate website is polished, your potential client is comparing you to the standard safety. This creates the Amazon effect. Why do people buy from giant corporations instead of small local shops? It isn't always price, it's safety. You know the site won't crash. You know the payment is secure. You know that shipping will be fast. You have trust in the place where you buy. If your website is unreadable, slow speeds, or has weird navigation, the brain's internal alarm goes off. It marks the site as scammy or outdated. The reality is, a website from 10 years ago looks cheap today. In a trust recession, if your online landscape isn't professional, you aren't seen as authentic, you're seen as unreliable. Thinking back to my time as a Wim Hof Method instructor, my business flowed initially because the Wim Hof website proved the foundational trust for me. They handled the payments, they had the professional UI, and they provided the safety standard. This is also why third-party booking sites like Book Retreats, Book Yoga Retreats, or Hipsy are great for beginners. They lend you the professional trust. However, building your business on someone else's soil comes with hidden costs. The first one, which I think is major, is a disconnect in your relationships. You have less direct connection with your customers. Communication is often limited through the booking site, so you can't call them, you can't message them or email them, or there's less personal connection, which is foundational in our work. You're dependent on their algorithm and ranking system. If they would decide to change it and not put you on top anymore, your leads might dry up overnight. And then third, we all know the middleman tax. They take a huge commission, often 20% on every sale. Money that could have been used to build your own brand and scale your own impact. I think it's worth it to use the third-party booking sites, but you definitely should try to build also your own customers coming through your own websites. So here's a professional checklist. To pass the first layer of trust and reclaim your independence, these elements must be nailed to a professional standard. This isn't about being fancy or marketing, it's about being clear and consistent. First is the website. Fast, mobile friendly, and predictable navigation. Second are the visuals. High quality images and consistent colors and fonts across Instagram and the web. Third is logistics, professional contract forms, clear policies, secure payments, contracts if needed. And four is the copywriting. Error-free, empathic language that speaks directly to their needs and psychology. The second layer is human connection. Once the foundational professionalism is set and buyers feel safe, we move to the heart of the ethical business model, building so much trust that you never have to sell. To achieve this, we use a clear lead flow. This is an intentional path a person follows from being a stranger to being a client. In fact, you're experiencing this exactly right now. Think back to how you found this video. Whether I reached out to you or you followed me on social media, the path was deliberate. First, on Instagram, my profile was built to explain exactly what I can do for you, why I'm qualified to do it for you, and who I am as a person. It provided enough trust for you to take the next step, which is visiting my website or sending me a DM. On my site, we deepened the trust. You see proof from other clients, felt me speaking directly to your problems, and saw a professional environment. I'm using high quality audio, high quality editing. I'm scripting my videos. I think my website looks clean, of course, using the same fonts on both Instagram and the website. And third, if the trust wasn't enough, I'm giving you a free educational masterclass. I'm giving you the full science for free. I'm helping you before you even paid me. This also builds trust. And this is the lovely part about this. Even if you don't become my client, I just hope that I can help you. So if this is valuable to you and if you can make changes in your business and grow it further, then that's a win for me also. Maybe you tell someone else about me, or when your business is larger and you get new problems, you come to me. So I don't care. I just want to help you. So, building trust through education. In an ethical business, we replace sales tactics with education. There are 3 specific things we must educate people on to bridge the trust gap. First is educating through your story. Why do you do this? Your history. For me, it was a 19-year-old mindfulness coach, the Wim Hof instructor, and there's more to my story, of course, which makes you relate to me. We're all humans, and humans connect through story. So it's foundational. And I often see lots of practitioners don't really tell their story. They're just selling their product. They're just talking about the workshop. They're talking about the breath work. They're talking about the meditation, but they're not talking about them. And yeah, it's foundational. So that's really a point where you can improve your online presence. Then second is education on the problem and the solution. Most people feel a pain, but they don't understand why or where it's coming from. When you explain the science of their problem better than they can, they automatically trust you. And especially if you bring in a new solution. So right now I'm bringing you ethical business. So you probably didn't like normal business or normal marketing. So this is a new solution for you to love the business and actually grow it professionally. Um, so if you're watching this right now, it's the proof that all of this is already working to some level. And the third is educating through proof, showing the transformation from others who stood where you are standing right now. This isn't bragging, it's providing evidence that the bridge you've built actually holds the weight. The goal, by the time someone finishes this lead flow, they shouldn't feel sold to, they should feel understood and educated. At that point, the sales call becomes simply a conversation about partnership. Here's my final note on trust: the death of the pitch. Do you see what happened here? When you combine a professional online landscape with the focus on your story and helping others, the product becomes secondary. In this model, you aren't a salesperson trying to convince someone to buy a seat at your retreat. You are the guide showing the person the bridge for their own transformation. A traditional business focuses on features on the product, and the ethical business focuses on transformation of the person. When you nail these two layers of trust, you stop selling and you start inviting people to the solution. This is how you reclaim your energy. You don't have to chase, you just have to be visible, professional, and helpful. Let's go into pillar 2, simplicity, the art of doing less but better. Once we have the foundation of trust, we must apply it through the lens of simplicity. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's a survival strategy for solopreneurs. Simplicity serves two people, you and your customer. Simplicity for you. As a one-person business, your energy is the most valuable asset. If you try to manage 5 different offers, post on every social media platform, and chase leads across 3 different booking sites, you aren't a practitioner, you're a juggler. The reality: complexity leads to overwhelm. Overwhelm leads to resentment, and resentment kills the soul of your business. The goal? We simplify your focus so you can master your craft, not your task list. Simplicity for the customer. There is a foundational rule in psychology. A confused mind always says no. If a potential client lands on your website or your WhatsApp and sees a menu of 7 different workshops, 3 types of coaching, and a retreat, they get paralyzed. They don't know which one they need, so they choose none. When you have a clear offer structure and a clear website, you remove the mental labor for your client. You make it easy for them to see the transformation you provide and the value and the one step they need to take. The strategy: clear structure and automated systems. To achieve this level of simplicity, we focus on 2 things. A focused offer. Instead of scattered products, we build one journey. Usually this means one high trust entry point, like a retreat or a premium transformation path, and a free offer. Most leads can go in any direction. Maybe they go to your retreat first or an in-person event first, and then they take the coaching or a premium offer. Or the other way around, they like the premium offer more, and then they would like to meet you. So they do a one-person so they do an in-person event, or they start with the free offer when they just want to test the waters, just like this video does. Systems for non-passion tasks. We identify everything in your business that isn't your gift. Bookings, automated follow-ups, payment processing, and we build systems around them. Many practitioners fear that automation kills the soul of their work. This is the biggest limiting belief holding you back. Ask yourself, why should you be spending your precious energy writing emails and chasing payment links? Your soul is needed in a room with the client, not in the inbox. A system never forgets to send a welcome guide or a thank you note. By automating the noise, you protect your energy so that when you do show up for your clients, you're 100% present and not exhausted. The result? Your business starts to run in the background. You move from a state of constantly doing to a state of focused being. You reclaim your hours you used to spend on administration and give them back to your passion so you can help more people. So, how do we do this? We do this with the systems. If simplicity is the goal, systems are the engines to get you there. We aren't using technology for the sake of it. We're using it to replace the departments we talked about earlier. We're moving away from random work to intentional output. The first layer: most practitioners spend 80% of their time on repetitive tasks. We use automations not to be cold, but to be professional. When a system handles the logistics, it creates extreme trust because the customer feels like you have thought about everything. From the moment they click a link on your social media to the aftercare emails 30 days after your program, the system is talking for you and providing value to the client. Instead of answering the same "What should I pack" email 20 times, an automated PDF is sent to them the moment they sign up, including travel info, prep notes, and reminders. An automated email goes out 24 hours before the workshop with a few final notes, so the client is prepared and shows up relaxed. Just as you will see a special video after you apply to work with me, that automation is there to handle the practical stuff in advance. It saves us both time so that when we actually get on a call, it can be 100% about you and your mission rather than me explaining my services. Layer 2, the workflow. Systems aren't just software, they are internal checklists. Without systems, every workshop feels like the first time you do it. With a system, it becomes a repeatable masterpiece. Event systems. A simple to-do list that never misses any detail. Order the ice, buy the cacao, check the sound system. You don't have to remember anything because the system holds the memory for you. Content systems, like the waterfall system. You don't just post to post. You use a system to turn one deep insight into a week of content across all platforms. And then finally, the call transcript, which usually is like a sales script, but we don't do sales on the ethical business. You aren't winging it on calls. You have a system of the best questions you can ask to truly understand your customer. You show up prepared so they get the best experience. Systems equal premium care and energy protection. We flip the script. Automation isn't lazy, it's thoughtful. It makes the client feel like they are in the hands of a master. It reinforces the idea that the practitioner's energy should be saved for transformation and not admin. Here's a nice bonus. Every client I've worked with felt the same resistance you might be feeling right now until they flipped these switches. To build a business at this level, you have to change how you think. If you want to scale your impact, you have to scale your beliefs. These 3 switches are the foundation of everything we build in the ethical business model. The first belief switch. Professionalism is a responsibility. Many practitioners feel that going professional means losing the heart. The truth is the exact opposite. If you have a gift that can truly help people, it's your responsibility to be professional enough for them to trust and find you. Confusion is a barrier to healing. If your website is a mess, if your emails are late, and if your message is unclear, you're effectively hiding your gift from people who need it the most. Clarity is a form of service. This one is a fun one also. LTV reframe. In traditional business, LTV, lifetime value, is the metric we use to see how much money we can get from one client. In an ethical business, we turn it around. We don't ask, how much money can I get from this person? We ask, how can I provide a lifetime of value to this person? LTV, still the same. We stop focusing on taking and start focusing on being a gift. Your strategy shifts. The wild part, money follows value. The end result is the same, maybe even better. A profitable business, but the feeling is night and day. And switch 3, I mentioned this before, sales calls to ethical calls. The biggest fear for a heart-centered entrepreneur is the sales pitch. In the ethical model, we don't close people, we help them. In a traditional sales call, we use pressure and scarcity to get a yes. In an ethical call, we use empathy and diagnosis to find truth. An ethical call is when someone approaches you. Your job is to understand their pain and see if you can help them. If you aren't the right fit, you help them find the right solution, even if that's not you. The result? When pressure is gone, trust rushes in. You will be amazed about how many people sign up when they realize you aren't trying to sell to them, but actually are trying to serve them. We covered a lot today. We looked at the science of trust, the power of simplicity, and the systems that protect your soul. By now, you should see that the professional business doesn't have to be cold. It can be the very thing that allows your gift to reach the world. There's 2 paths from here. The first path is the DIY route. Everything I've shown today is a blueprint. You can take notes, research tools, and spend the next few months trying to build the systems, write the copy, and refine your lead flow yourself. It's a valid path, and I hope this masterclass has given you clarity from the start. The second path is partnership. If you want to skip the months of trial and error, if you want one single source of truth built specifically for your mission, then I invite you to the ethical call. What happens on the ethical call? As we discussed, this isn't a high pressure sales pitch, it's a diagnosis. We first look at the truth. We look at your current business and see where the friction lies. We will determine if your mission and my systems match. And third, we create a plan. If I can help you, I will show you exactly how we can build your dream business together. Click the button below and fill out a short application. Watch the next video after you apply, or watch it later. I will send it also through your email, and I will reach out to you to plan a call. Your work is too important to be buried under the messy tech and stressful marketing. Let's build the science that protects your soul so you can get back to what you're really meant to do. I will see you on the call.